culture was very dominated by spirituality up until the Middle Ages, more or less, with exceptions, was very focused on spirituality, almost to the denial of the physical universe and physical body itself. And then he says in the Renaissance, human beings discovered they had bodies, which is a line he always said, and I thought that was interesting. But there was a sense that people had discovered the material world suddenly. I mean, there have been undercurrents of this going on in ancient Greece and so forth, but it hadn't really blossomed until the Renaissance. And then Renaissance happened, and people started saying, okay, well, maybe religion is kind of not the way to go. Let's see what happens, and we'll follow materialism for a while, and see if that has the answer. And there was a sense, maybe up until the end of the 19th century possibly, or maybe into the 20th century, that materialism was going to be the ultimate answer. And you have things like Marxism and philosophies like that came out of that. But then things started to go wrong in the 20th century with materialism. Nuclear weapons and World War II. This incredibly efficient technological killing going on, and I think people became dissatisfied with materialism. And then people had vast personal wealth. A lot more people had vast personal wealth than ever had before, and it wasn't making them any happier. So there was a sense that, okay, well, now materialism has failed us. So a lot of people are trying to go back to spirituality, but we sort of have, as a cultural, already gone that route and found that it didn't fix everything. So my theory is maybe people are looking for something that's neither spirituality nor materialism, and that's where Buddhism comes in, because Buddhism doesn't. I always say that Buddhism isn't a form of spirituality, although you can file the Buddhist books in the spirituality sections, and there is a spiritual dimension to Buddhism for sure. But it's not spirituality because it doesn't say that. For example, it does not say that the spiritual world is real and the material world is an illusion. And if you look over there, there's a plaque. No, it's this one on the first one on the wall back here. Lays out the Hindu philosophy, and it says the Hindu philosophy, which is what Buddha was reacting to, says that the spiritual world is reality and the material world is an illusion, which Buddha reacted to by saying, no, both the spiritual world and the material world are illusory. Yet there is reality that exists that's neither spirit nor matter. That spirit and matter are manifestations of one underlying thing that is neither of the two. So I think perhaps maybe people are sort of intuitively understanding that they're looking for something which isn't spirituality and which isn't materialism. And that's what attracted me to Buddhism, was because it wasn't either of those things. It's something else. And that something else is Buddhism. And I'm even content that maybe eventually we'll be able to drop the word Buddhism entirely, because Buddhism has this sort of sectarian feel to it, as if it's one among many competing religious philosophies. But I don't actually, this is kind of sort of a bold claim, but I don't actually think it is one among many competing spiritual philosophies. It's something that's different, that was discovered a long time ago and might not have been thoroughly understood in its early years, and that possibly now is the time for it to be understood, because the culture has gone through the necessary phases so that the groundwork is laid so that